The evolution of the women's swimsuit from 1875 to 1927. Black humor from Austro-Hungarian pilots. The first cryopreservation of a human being, USA, 1967. Humanity had long sought a way to immortality, and in the progressive 1960s, it created the technology to freeze a deceased person in hopes of preventing decomposition, with the hope of reviving them in the future. The first person to undergo cryopreservation was James Bedford, who died in 1967 at the age of 73. It is believed that if a person recognizes at least 25 historical figures depicted in this picture, they are already sufficiently educated. A contest for the most elegant smoking style in Paris, 1932. Blacksmith Patrick O'Neill without one arm and his special working prosthesis, England, 1929. A brutal experiment in the US lasting from the 1930s to the 1970s. Over 600 African American workers from Alabama were given placebos and arsenic, despite a known remedy for syphilis. The purpose of the experiment was to observe how African Americans die from syphilis. Hyundai's founder paid for the shipment of 1,001 cows to his native village in 1998. He had stolen and sold a cow in his youth to buy a ticket to Seoul. The execution of the conspirators who assassinated American President Abraham Lincoln, 1865. In New Jersey, male toplessness was banned until 1937 on the grounds that locals didn't want to see gorillas on the beaches. The 266th Pope Francis. In his youth, he was a fan of rock music. Hans van Dyck before the Special Court in Amsterdam, February 1947. Dutch collaborator who handed Jews over to the Nazis during World War II. She was the only woman in the Netherlands sentenced to death for collaborating with the occupiers. Europeans after a tiger hunt, India, 1900s. 39-year-old cowboy from Texas, Clarence Haley, whose image was used in Marlboro cigarette advertisements, 1949. In this photo, the English wizard Alex Sanders, self-proclaimed King of Witches, is initiating a young novice into the mysteries of the magical arts. The wizard placed the naked novice in a circle, then lay on top and recited incantations. Thus, the girl became a witch. Sanders died on April 30th, 1988, after a prolonged battle with lung cancer. Torgau, 1945. Soviet and American troops meet and hug near the ruined bridge across the Elbe. Their smiles are genuine, yet they mask 4 years of shared conflict. Stalingrad and Normandy, the siege of Leningrad and Pearl Harbor. The Hollywood sign was created in 1923, but not as a symbol of the Dream Factory. It was simply advertising for new residential areas in Los Angeles. And the sign was originally longer, Hollywoodland. It was supposed to last about a year and a half, but due to the booming film industry in Hollywood, they decided to keep it. The blood-stained chair in which U.S. President Abraham Lincoln was sitting when he was shot in the back of the head by John Wilkes Booth over 150 years ago. Hippo Phoebe and her baby refusing to pose for the camera at the Bronx Zoo, 1967. German man accused of associating with a Jewish woman. I am a defiler of the race. Germany, 1935. Japanese soldiers mock Chinese prisoners during the Nanjing Massacre, 1938. Fashionable women with bronze rings on their necks. Fashionable women in eastern Burma do everything to make their necks as long as possible. Bulldozers demolish illegally built huts by the poor USA during the Great Depression. 12 Soviet snipers who shot 775 German soldiers during World War II, 1945. Prohibition, men pouring out whiskey, USA, 1931. A Turkish official taunts starving Armenian children with bread during the Armenian Genocide, 1915. A Swedish woman hitting a neo-Nazi protester with her handbag. The woman was reportedly a concentration camp survivor, 1985. A 25-year-old woman at the grave of her brother who served in the U.S. Army in Iraq and Afghanistan, 2013. A fine for an overtly revealing swimsuit, Heemskerk, Netherlands, 1931. The final of the FA Cup, Cardiff City versus Arsenal, April 23, 1927. Police at Wembley literally make their way over fans' heads to their service spots. A photo from a New York parade celebrating the end of World War I. A car with captured German carrier pigeons drives past the spectators, 1918. A photo of the seemingly kind family man Heinrich Himmler with his family from his photo album. But he was a Nazi, 1936. Tragic shot taken during a stunt by airshow performer Todd Green. He fell from the wing of a plane and died, USA, 2011. A procedure for removing freckles using dry ice, 1930s. Beauty treatments of the past were often painful and unsafe. I'm not a camel, I want beer. Protest against the ban on alcohol consumption while driving, 1920s. A bra model, fashionable in the 40s and 50s. Protest against racial integration in schools, USA, 1959. The sign reads, "Race mixing is communism." The hairstyle of this Victorian fashionista is adorned with a taxidermy cat, and the bodice of her dress is decorated with real cattails. 1883. A man guards his house during mass riots over racial segregation. Chicago, 1919. A crowd of children runs to a candy store on the day the government rationing of sweets ended. UK, 1953. Gas chamber for horses, Germany, 1942. Used to treat skin diseases, but it looked terrifying. The Eternal Smile. The mummy of Hatshepsut, the most powerful female pharaoh in the history of Egypt. May 7, 1954, the USA definitively rejected the USSR's entry into NATO. This decision clearly indicated the USA's hostile stance toward the Soviet Union. A man sleeps in a sarcophagus during a bombing raid, London, 1940. Cambridge students protest the admission of women to the University, United Kingdom, 1897. Wedding motorcade, Chelyabinsk region, Russia, 1990s. The first case of disqualification of an athlete for doping occurred in 1968. That year, alcohol was found in the blood of pentathlete Hans-Gunnar Liljenvall. This unique photo shows a typical post-war Moscow health ritual. Children napping outdoors in Tendegas. Folding cots are set up in a snowy yard, and the cocooned children demonstrate Soviet medicine's belief in the miraculous power of cold. USSR, 1958. Bob Marley accused of marijuana possession on his way to court. London, 1977. Gargoyles on the facades of Gothic churches are usually positioned so that rainwater flows from the roofs through their mouths. However, one of the gargoyles at Freiburg Minster is holding onto the wall with its hands and feet, and water pours out of its backside. According to a city legend, during the construction of the cathedral, the city council raised the requirements for the stonemasons without increasing their pay. The stonemasons completed the work, but placed this defecating sculpture opposite the city council's windows. Finnish soldiers send a Russian prisoner to persuade his commander, who barricaded himself in a dugout, to surrender. 1941. Jane Mansfield poses with the winner of the Miss Hollywood contest. 1957. Advertisement for children's cocaine drops for tooth pain, instant effect and only 15 cents. 1930s Germany. A firefighter tests the latest invention, a suit that protects him from fire using jets of water coming from the top of the helmet. A Bear artilleryman fought in the Polish army in exile during DUIs. He helped Polish gunners unload ammunition crates and even carried shells during battle. Birthday, September 11th, 2001. Left, Mick Jagger after marrying Bianca Perez Mora Macias, 1971. Right, Jagger running from court during their divorce, 1979. Viking skates made of leather and horsebone, 10th century. The gaze of an emaciated American soldier liberated from a German prisoner of war camp. Limburg, Germany, 1945. The May 2nd, 1945 edition of the Stars and Stripes newspaper, Hitler is Dead. Captured 16-year-old German soldier at the end of Brihuitu, 1945. The FBI feared that an intimate encounter between Marilyn Monroe and John F. Kennedy was captured on a secret tape. While the footage has never been made public and the FBI denies JFK's presence, rumors of its existence have persisted for decades. Napoleon, the mascot of the French artillery during the Battle of Verdun, France, World War I, 1916. A Filipino survivor of the Manila Massacre shows the attempt of a Japanese officer to behead him. The Manila Massacre, which took place between February and March of 1945 during the Philippine Campaign, took the lives of between 100,000 and 240,000 civilians, according to U.S. estimates. Romania, 1946. Gypsies practiced healing backs by sitting a bear on them. USA, 1905. At the competition of African Americans who headbutt barrels. Slave market, USA, 1864. It was only after the Civil War and the ratification of the 13th Amendment to the Constitution that slavery was abolished in the country. Girls painting clock dials with radioactive paint. Most of them would later die from radiation sickness, 1922. A man runs with a cart full of diapers during the Los Angeles riots, 1992. Fashion for boldly protruding female breasts in the 1940s. A gentleman's set, 1640. The average lifespan in ancient Rome was 20-30 years. By the age of 20, 60% of peers were already dead. Only 1 in 3 lived to 30. Men died in wars, women during childbirth. Experiment at Tbilisi Oncology Institute, 1967. Chinese execution method, 1900. Prisoners stand on a pile of stones with 1 stone removed each day until suffocation occurs. Republicans fight Democrats in a snowball fight at the Capitol, USA, 1921. Hitler's nephew who fought for the USA during World War II. The oldest virgin, Clara Mead Moore, was 108 years old. Born in Glasgow in 1903, Clara died in 2012 and believed that her chastity was a major reason for her phenomenal longevity. Joe Arridy, known as the happiest prisoner on death row, giving his toy train to another inmate before his execution in 1939. Women in wooden swimsuits designed to help them float better, 1929. Lab technician in a plastic suit selecting a rat for experiments in an Indiana lab, USA, 1949. Adolf Hitler and Benito Mussolini, 1941. Monks from Asakusa Temple prepare for the Sino-Japanese War, Japan, 1936. North Korean girls sing a song about Kim Il-sung, 1950. A rare photo of people enjoying casual conversation on September 11, 2001. Fans waiting for a Beatles concert, 1964. This is how Japanese streets were watered 100 years ago. Chelyabinsk City, Russian Empire, 1913. Bulgaria, 1990s. People wait to see the legendary mystic Vanga, hoping for a glimpse into their future. Jacob Miller was shot in the head in 1863 and walked away. The bullet remained in his skull for decades. The demise of the largest dirigible, the Hindenburg, marking the end of the dirigible building era, USA, 1937. The dummy of ventriloquist Lester, accused of killing 3 people, USA, 1924. During the performance, 3 elderly women literally died of laughter. Alcatraz prison, where the most dangerous American criminals were held, operated until 1963 and was the only federal prison at the time where inmates had access to warm showers. The administration decided that prisoners accustomed to comfort would be less likely to attempt to escape by swimming across the cold San Francisco Bay. Emperor Nicholas II blesses Russian officers going to the Russo-Japanese War, 1904. Russia lost this war dramatically and suffered enormous losses. Staff of the Disney Film Company during their lunch break, 1961. Princess Diana in her car shortly before the fatal crash. Owners of Turkish taverns hired porters to carry overly drunk regular customers home, 1960s Istanbul. French Catholic clergy in Dijon, burning an effigy of Santa Claus in front of children in protest against the pagan Christmas, 1951. Crowd fights over toilet paper in a Tokyo supermarket, Japan, 1973. A hippie wedding, 1965. Wives from the harem of the Persian Shah Nasreddin Shah Qajar, 1870s. Did this make you laugh, cry, or feel frustrated? Let me know your reaction in the comment section. Make sure to watch out for the next episode. Drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. Cheers.